What's up, guys? This is OddsAre here. I'm bringing you guys my week 3 of the IBL. This week we are facing Phantombass, other known as the New York Cosmogs, and he is actually a replacement coach for Top Meta Gaming, I believe, or the Rhode Island Rotoms. Anyways, but my opponent this week is Phantombass. He has a fairly scary team. I have a few ways to deal with it, and I'm just going to briefly talk about my team each week. I have a Choice Scarf Ninja. I have a Dragon with Leftovers. I have a Gliscor with Toxic Orb. Just pretty basic sets. I have a Mega Camerupt with, just a Mega Camerupt with the basic moves, Fire Blast, Earth Power, Flash Cannon, and Yawn. Musharna with another pretty basic set with Healing Wish, Trick Room, Moonlight, and Ice, Hidden Power Ice. My Lucario set is a little bit unusual. It's a Life Orb set, which I kind of regret, honestly, because I don't know. I don't like Life Orb. And I decided to run Life Orb for some reason, but it has Agility, Bolt Punch, Ice Beam, and Close Combat. And that is my team. His team is fairly scary. I don't have too many ways around Noivern. I have a couple, and I just failed to do it, basically. And I should have had Defog on something. That's another regret I have. I should have had Defog on Gliscor, or I should have had Wait, I thought I had... Do I not have Defog on Gliscor? I thought I had Defog on Gliscor. Okay, I guess I did not have Defog on Gliscor. So, there's that. But let's just hop right on into this match. I don't want to keep you guys waiting too much longer. This was a kind of hefty match. I had a few opportunities to win. There's a few close calls in this game, and I'm not exactly sure on who got it first, but we're just starting the match right here. There's his player trainer card, I guess, or trainer outfit, and then he leads out the Nation, which is Noivern, and I lead out Greninja because I thought he would lead Noivern, and he uses Frisk, and he knows immediately that I'm Choice Scarfed. I missed this fact. I missed this fact earlier on in the game. Like, I didn't realize that he had a Frisk Noivern at this point in time. I just completely overlooked it. I was like, all right. So that's pretty easy to determine. Okay. All right. Here, I was kind of surprised that he went U-turn. I immediately figured out he was Scarfed after this, because I thought there was no way he would actually expect me to run a Choice Scarf Ninja, but showing that showing Frisk right at the beginning really proved it to me. I stayed in, he stayed in, and I clicked Ice Beam. He goes out into his Patrick Star, which is a Licky Licky, and I just click Ice Beam, doing a little bit to this thing, and nothing really happens of it. I have to have Greninja switch out because I don't want him getting weakened at all. I bring out Lucario. He clicks Ice Beam, and I do believe this freezes my Lucario. Yes, it does freeze my Lucario. So, wait, no, this is week 2. I'm so sorry. I think I'm off on weeks, because I think this was right after Brendan. Yeah, this is week 2. I'm so sorry. This is my week 2 match for the IBL. This was versus Phantombass, of course, and I got frozen turn 1 by Brendan, and by like turn 2 I got frozen again. I was so upset about this. I have a worse luck of getting frozen, but nothing really comes of it. I do just stay in because if he wants to hit me, he can hit me. I'm frozen solid here, which is not a huge deal. Lucario, yeah, I stayed in one more turn just to do something. He clicks a Toxic Spike, and I'm very, very scared because I can't really touch this thing with my moveset, and I am going to switch out into Musharna. Like I said, I still should have had a Defogger. It was my fault for not having one, and it played a role later on in the game with my switches and stuff like that. I was not very happy with that. Those toxic spikes were actually really important in this match for my for his team, because if not, I would have had a better switch-ins to Victini with Dragon. I would have not had to go into Gliscor or stayed in with Gliscor versus something like Victini. You'll see in a little bit, but the toxic spikes really made a huge impact into this game. I am now a poisoned Musharna. It's not too terribly bad, but I am getting weakened over time with Toxic. I do have Musharna switch out because I'm not exactly sure on what he's going to want me to do. I just bring out Camerupt here. He gets Toxic, not a huge deal, but can be problematic. He does go for the nasty plot, and since Trick Room is up, I am going to outspeed anything else on the field, and I'm going to get a pretty free Fire Blast on anything I want. He does have to switch that thing out, and Patrick Star does come in here. So I'm assuming this thing has something like Surf or something like that. So if I'm not able to hit KO it, then I will probably have to switch it out, because I don't really want to be losing Camerupt for nothing. Like I said, I just click the Fire Blast. I'm hitting those 70% every single time. He does take a lot from it, and I'm easily able to just click one more Fire Blast. Actually, I click Earth Power because I didn't want to risk and miss, and Earth Power will still kill it. So I am up 6-5 right now. I'm actually in a pretty good situation. The Nation comes out here. I don't have a lot to hit it, and I think this was the last room, a Trick Room, if I'm not mistaken. So he decides to double out into Noivern, thinking maybe he thought that Trick Room was over or something like that, or maybe he wanted to bait an attack or something of that. And Victini does just come out here. Victini does have some unusual moves, and he could be running something like Hidden Power or something like that, which he is. I wanted to see what type of Victini set this was, and all that showed me was he had Hidden Power Water. So there's that. I was hoping he wouldn't, but he ended up having Hidden Power Water. I have to bring out my Greninja because nothing will outspeed it besides Greninja. He does have to switch out the Victini into the Nation. So that was a kind of risky play. I understand why he did that, because I pretty much had to go for Dark Pulse, and Dark Pulse was not going to be doing enough to Noivern to kill it. And I do know Noivern is scarfed at this point, so I do have to just bring Greninja back out. If this Noivern was not scarfed, I would have had a much easier time going for it. I was actually surprised that he was Frisk and not Infiltrator, because I do have some mons that want to set up subs and stuff like that, like Gliscor is one of them, and I have a few others that normally want to set up subs. I have to just bring out Musharna, and I will be sacking Musharna here, I do believe. Oh, he does miss the attack. I am confused, and I will miss the attack. That was actually Hidden Power. That was actually Hidden Power Ice. So that Noivern would have been dead right there if I broke out. But it happens. So there's that. We do just keep playing this match. I was hoping for another miss, but it does not come. This Noivern will be able to hit this Hurricane, and I will go down. So I did have a small chance of killing this Noivern, but it was, I guess, in vain. For that, I do just bring out this Gliscor. This Gliscor is made to take this thing on. He decides to just opt to switch, and he will go out into this thing, which is the Wheezing. I don't have much for it on Gliscor, and I have the Toxic Orb, so nothing really affects me anyways. I am just literally having to hope to freeze it at this point. I don't have anything to really deal with it. Even I don't have any defensive walls besides Gliscor left, and I just don't have any offensive mons that want to take anything from it. Like Lucario is something that I might want to switch in, but it's just not worth it to try and do that. He decides to switch out, and he just goes straight out into he switched straight out into Decidueye, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep clicking I'm just going to keep clicking Ice Fang. I have nothing really for this thing, and I'm just trying to get flinches. I get my first flinch right there. Then I click Ice Fang again. I will get another flinch, I do believe. No, he just goes for Nasty Plot here. And then this next turn, I will end up getting one more flinch. Honestly, that is kind of unfortunate, but I does make up for the, I guess, the confusion miss on Musharna. But this was not as important. He does opt to switch out, and I will just stay in here and click Ice Fang versus Victini. It does absolutely no damage, and Victini is here. I can live any one hit from Victini. There's a question here. There's two ways of winning here with not winning here with dealing with Victini. It was one Drotagon or two this thing. For me, I think I had to choose this thing, because if it wasn't for this, I would have been in a lot better situation, right? Because after like Gliscor is the only thing keeping Noivern in check, right? I only need about 30% to do it. Victini, on the other hand, can still pretty much deal with my entire team. Maybe I should have went into Drotagon, sacking it off, then went back into Greninja, keeping Gliscor healthy, because, like I said, Gliscor is the only thing keeping Noivern in check. That's probably what I should have done, and it probably would have been the better option, but I opted against it because I knew I could live, and I was still able to, recover up on, not recover, roost up on some other stuff, like his Decidueye, like we seen. And I think he had one other mon that I could roost up on, but with that, I made a fairly big misplay here. I should have honestly 100% went into Dragon, no matter if it was special or physical, and I kind of knew he was going to be special because he brought it in versus a Gliscor. So that was a pretty good sign that it was a special Victini. But he does just go for the Glaciate. I get hit by it, and I do live with 23 HP, and I will gain a little bit more HP with the Poison Heal after this Earthquake happens, and the Victini will go down. So, wait, it doesn't go down? I thought it went down. Okay, so the Victini lives on very low HP. So this was honestly a wash. I made a pretty massive misplay here. I should not have done that because I thought the Victini went down, and me still having to switch out, so that was kind of problematic. I should have definitely went into Dragon, sacking him off, going back into Greninja, and then predicting the Noivern switch in most likely, or just going for Dark Pulse again, bringing Noivern to very low, and having Lucario clean up later with his Bullet Punch shenanigans and be able to clean up the rest of his team. But because I did not do that, I do have to switch out here and to Lucario. I knew he wasn't going for anything too major, and since Lucario is still pretty frozen, I am pretty safe just to hope that I do something. In here, I do easily take the ice move. He does switch out, showing he might be Scarfed or some type of choice item possibly, but he does just go out into Decidueye. I click Bullet Punch, and that will kill the Decidueye. At this point in time, Lucario can do a lot of work, and I just have to be very, very careful. Another misplay I should have done, I should have had a Water Shuriken on Greninja, even though it wasn't super effective, just in case of some type of Choice Scarf Decidueye. Not Decidueye, Choice Scarf Noivern. But that didn't happen, so I do have to just deal with the consequences of that. The Phantombass does just bring out the Nation. I should have probably clicked... Oh, I did click Bolt Punch here, I do believe. He just clicks... Oh, wait, no, this was a misclick on my part. I was wanting to just click... I wanted to just click... Bullet Punch here. I think I misclicked, and I clicked close combo. I clicked Agility, I think. Yeah, I misclicked and clicked Agility. And Bullet Punch would have brought it in range of something like... I don't actually know. because nothing on this team would live anything more, because all I had left was Greninja and Druddigon. Maybe if Druddigon lived a Hurricane, which is definitely possible, like that would bring it down low enough where Greninja could sweep the rest of his team, possibly. But Phantombass honestly played this amazingly. I think this is pretty much game at this point. Like I said, Druddigon was at full HP. He is a Choice Scarf into Hurricane, and he does opt to just switch out. He brings out something called Kirito, which is his Lando. So like I said, I think I only have Greninja and Druddigon left with a very low Gliscor, and I glared this, and I still have a chance of winning. I just have to get Gliscor out on possibly this Lando or on the Noivern. Like I said, if I got that glare on Noivern, it would have been a lot easier. I do end up getting the rocks. That's what it was. Like if I was able to bullet punch that Noivern with Lucario like I wanted to, and with rocks damage, I would have been able to kill it. That's what it was. That's what I was remembering. So with that, I made a major misplay there, and I wanted rocks just to get damage on the Noivern if I'm able to force it out one more time. And I probably should have saved this Druddigon a lot more in case I wanted to do something like that. But I think at this point in time, I can just kill the rest of his team with Ice Beam from Greninja. He does end up killing. I think he ends up killing my Druddigon. I should have went into. No, he does not actually kill my Druddigon here. I clicked Dragon Tail, which was probably my worst move. I should have let him just kill me off, and it goes into the worst possible Pokemon that it could. Let me just get back. I should not have actually went for Dragon Tail though. Dragon Tail there. I should have went for Pursuit or Glare again or something of that nature. I should not have clicked Dragon Tail because this was my win con, right? Even if this thing had HP Ice, which it probably would, I don't believe I would have been able to go down to it versus the Gliscor, because I'd be losing my flying typing and it'd only be 2 times effective instead of 4 times effective. And I do believe I would have been able to out-roost this thing and eventually kill it whenever I wanted to because of the paralysis. And I do believe I'd actually outspeed even a max speed thing. So at this point in time, that was a major misplay as well, because I needed Gliscor healthy. I completely forgot about that fact. I just wanted this thing out of my hair, and that was a very, very poor misplay on my part. So that was another game decider. There's 2 game deciders right there that would have helped me a lot. Like I said, if I bullet punched the Noivern, it could have only came in one more time. Actually, I don't think it would have. It would have had to stay in there. Versus, I think versus the Druddigon, it would have had to stay in. And even if he didn't, I would have been able to Dragon Tail it out and possibly even glare this again if I wanted to, because Druddigon's actually pretty bulky and would have been a major help to me. But I did misplay there, and like you've seen here, I did misplay with the Dragon Tail as well. And Noivern does just come out and pretty much kills the rest of my team. Yeah, I just go down to poison here. Yeah, that goes down to poison. He just clicks Dragon Pulse because he doesn't have to risk anything, and that will just kill the Greninja as well. And Gliscor is the last one surviving, and he will definitely just go down to a Dragon Pulse. If I had Protect or something like that, I could have possibly lived one, maybe, but I did not. So Gliscor does just go down here, and that is game. I do lose 4-0. Everything is pretty much low on his team. Let me just go to this little area right here. Everything was low. Like Noivern was low, the Decidueye was low, the Lando was low, and the Victini was low. So if I played possibly played Lucario better, I would have been in a lot better situation. Or if I was able to, or if I didn't just click Dragon Tail with Dragon, I would have possibly won that match, because if I just let Dragon go down versus the Lando, I would have been able to roost up on the Lando versus the Gliscor, because even at +2, I don't believe that's doing enough to me. Like you've seen, I lived a Glaciate from a special Victini. I do believe I'd be able to live a couple Hidden Power Ices if I'm roost stalling with it. So that is my mistake. Like I had the easiest way of getting back into this game, and I did not take it. Especially since this thing was paralyzed, I can always just possibly get a couple free roosts, and then do whatever I want when it gets back in here. I can even toxic it and stuff like that in case he wants to switch out, because everything else on his team is super low at this point. Like Decidueye was low enough where I can kill it with one more Ice Fang. This Lando was low enough for one Ice Fang to kill it. Victini was in red, where Greninja would have been able to kill it. And if I was honestly at this point in time, like the only thing for me to do was have the Victini kill me. So actually no, Victini would have been able to pull that back for him. Like if I went into this, I killed the Lando, he would go out into Victini at very low HP, and I would have been at low HP again. So I would have had to switch into Greninja, and he probably would have lived I would have definitely lived an Ice move, but that's a really big 50-50 I normally don't want to take. Even if he used a Fire move versus Greninja, I do think I would have lived, and I would have been able to either kill the Victini or do a lot of damage to it, because I would have Dark Pulse, and actually nothing at that point would take a Dark Pulse either, because Noivern wouldn't take it on the switch in, neither would Decidueye. So that would have been a very close game, a lot closer than I wanted to. It'd been a lot closer game than it was if I would have just played the game a little bit more effectively with my switch-ins. But honestly, great game to Phantombass, and let me just get back to the screen really quickly, and here we go. Right, is this it? Yeah, this is it. So yeah, it was a very close game, and the scores don't really show it, but it would have been a lot closer. Like the scores would have been a lot closer if I played that last few turns a lot better, like with the Dragon play. Like I should not have Dragon Tailed there. To be fair, if oh wait, no, Victini was dead to rocks, so actually Dragon Tail wasn't the worst play. I was just hoping for the Decidueye, I guess. I think I wanted the Decidueye out. I think that's what I was wanting. It was a 1 out of 4. It's still, or 1 out of 5. I'm not sure if Weezing was down yet. I don't think Weezing was dead yet. But Victini was dead to rocks. So I made a misplay there. Yeah, but honestly, a great game to Phantombass. It was actually a very close game. I could have came back just with a few different ways. Like I said, with the Lucario clicking a Bullet Punch, that was a major factor on why I lost that. Because with that Bullet Punch damage, Noivern would not have switched out, and I would have been able to 1v1 it with Dragon. I do believe he might have still switched out and possibly lived on 1 or 2 HP. But I could have done something with that, possibly with having Gliscor heal back up. But the Gliscor versus the Victini play was a misplay on my part. I should have went into possibly Dragon, but yeah, probably Dragon. And I'm just talking about those last 2 plays a little bit too much. But anyways, hope you guys do enjoy this game. Phantombass's link will be down in the description below, and I will see you guys next week. Later.